Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to this week's Monday Motivation. It's Monday, my name is Jenny Kovacs, and today's motivation is all about what to do and how to motivate yourself when you just feel like tearing your hair out. Now, despite popular belief, we all have these days, even if we don't want to, even if we don't intend to. Even the celebrities that you might follow have these days. Even the people whose work you might follow have these days. Even your boss has these days. Even you have these days. Your children, your friends, and all those people around you. So, what do you do when you're having one of those moments, one of those days where you want to tear your hair out? I've written down 5 bullet points of 5 things that I want to cover in this Monday Motivation. In fact, that's a lie. I've written down 7 things that I want to cover. So if you or someone you know could use a little bit of motivation for their Monday, for their morning, or for their week, then please share this video. You can share it on your timeline, because you know what? This video isn't a specialist video just for being visible, just for standing out, or just for raising your profile. This video will really help anybody who starts off their Monday, and maybe their Monday already is, they're face palming and thinking, oh my gosh, I don't like Mondays. This could be just the thing that they need to hear. So, what to do when you want to tear your hair out. I have written these almost in the form of a checklist, and the reason that I've done this is because sometimes, just sometimes, when we're in it, when we're in our emotion, whether it's somebody who's rattled our cage, whether it's an environment that we're in that we don't want to be in, or anything else, the easiest thing to do is to go through this checklist, but the hardest thing to do is to remember it. And I often say to my clients, the hardest piece of making a change or making a transformation in any way, shape or form is just remembering to do that. So if you're new to me, hello and welcome. If you're somebody that likes to watch these in the background, that's cool too. But if you would like to get involved, do say hi in the box below. Whether you're watching this live or on the replay, just type in a comment below, and I will be happy to answer any questions now I'm live, or I will definitely acknowledge you and wave back. No one likes to be ignored, do they? So I want you to think of the last time that something rattled your cage, something annoyed you, you wanted to tear your hair out, and you felt like you need your spirits lifting. I want you to think about that time, because a lot of these that I'm about to suggest will apply. So here's the first one, and the first one might seem a little bit strange. It might seem a little bit strange. The first one is, did you get enough sleep? Did you get enough sleep? 9 times out of 10, I know for myself, hey, good morning again, Faye. 9 times out of 10, the reason why I will feel in a tizzy, to put it politely, will be maybe I'm just tired. Maybe I haven't had enough sleep. Maybe I did have enough sleep, but I've worn myself out doing something else within the daytime. So the first thing to do, if you're feeling that feeling like you want to tear your hair out, then check, did you get enough sleep? Have you had enough consistent sleep? Because fatigue and being tired is one of the biggest and easiest ways to do this. And I know that some of you watching this have young children. Maybe you've still got babies and you're getting up in the night and feeding them. So you will understandably feel tired. You will understandably be tired. Are there any ways in which you can have any catch-ups? I have friends who have very young babies, newborn babies, and the advice given was sleep when they sleep, catch a few moments of sleep when they sleep, whether it's in the daytime or the nighttime. So did you get enough sleep? Check how much sleep you've got. When you've had a good night's sleep, and everyone has different optimum levels. I found out in the last couple of years my optimum hours of sleep are actually 6:30, but it's the time of sleep. 6:30 is 6.5 hours, but it's the optimum time that you want to get some sleep. A up, says Ian. A up. If anyone wonders why I greet Ian with an A up, it's because he lives in Yorkshire in the UK. Just in case you were wondering. So A up and good morning to you. Faye saying, no, definitely not enough sleep. Faye, Ray has got young, gorgeous babies and she's, looking after them. So yes, I understand why it happened, but it's one of the biggest triggers, if you like, that gets us all irritable and just not on form. And for those of you that are parents, you will know it when you see what your children are like when they don't get enough sleep either. So that's the first thing. Did you get enough sleep? The second thing is the start to your day. Now, some people are into exercise. Some people go for a run, some people go to the gym, some people will meditate, some people will do yoga. There is no right or wrong. But one of the biggest and best ways to start your day is by starting the day just for you. Is by starting the day, what do I mean by starting the day just for you? Let me explain that, because that might sound a bit strange. When you get up in the morning, you wake up in the morning and you reach for your phone, if you reach on your phone and go straight into social media, if you reach for your phone and go and check out the headlines, the newspaper, if you reach for your phone and go straight to your emails, you are waking up and you're setting the tone for your day that says, I am not important enough for me, but I'm going to give out my day to someone else. Here's what happens. You check your emails and you see the email that somebody sent during the night or the day before that demands something from you. Before you know it, you're on to answering that email. And this is especially prevalent in the business, the business world. So for those of you who are business owners, it's very tempting to think, gosh, I've got so much to do. What did I miss? You check your inbox, you see an email, you action it straight away. You have now already given your day over to somebody else. And this is not to say that this is a ranking of importance, not at all. But to start your day, you need it for yourself. Second example I gave was the news. Now, it's really funny because I have reduced how much I read the news. In fact, I don't buy any newspapers, and I very rarely watch TV these days, so I very rarely watch the news. If something big has happened, I know about it. I know about it through social media. And if there's been something tragic, which, 90% of the news that's being reported is on what Trump's just said or, what tragedy has happened in the world. It's not that I want to bury my head in the sand, because I really, want to empathise with the things that are going on in the world. But what I want to do is I want to set my day up for myself first before it gets pulled into, oh my gosh, isn't that awful? This thing's happened. So the next thing that I would recommend is that you choose to start to your day. Choose a start to your day that involves either some inner reflection. You might journal, or keep a diary. You might meditate. You might even pray. You might want to go out for a run, because you know that by going out for a run, and maybe you run by yourself, it helps you to clear your thoughts, clear, the cobwebs away. You might go to the gym for the same reason. Again, you want to get into that kind of fitness, get into that zone and clear it away. Now, regardless of the way you choose to do it, there is another way. If you're not into any of those things that I've said, you might just want to sit in silence for 5 minutes. Yes, I said sit in silence for 5 minutes. But what about my to-do list? What about all the stuff that I've got to get done today? Give yourself the gift of 5 minutes, and here's why. When you start your day as the very first thing of giving time to you and giving time to yourself, it's like you tap into that inner peacefulness that you've got deep down that you don't always get to access. Your 5 minutes of silence might just be looking out of the window, watching the sunrise. It could be just surveying your garden. It could be just looking down the street. It could be anything else like that. But when you tap into your the place of your inner calm, I'm going to call it, it means that regardless of what life throws at you in the day, if you choose, you can go back to that calm, inner, peaceful bit of you. So when things feel like they're too much, it means that you can actually action other things in a better and a different way that serves you. You can go back into that inner peace. Okay, third thing. So the first thing was check, did you get enough sleep? Second thing was the start to your day. How are you choosing to start your day? So then the third thing are mantras, and I'm going to call these mantras to move you. Very recently I was at a retreat and I was speaking to a couple of people about, just different ways, different tools and techniques of mantras and things to say to ourselves. And I know that in the sort of, personal development world and maybe spirituality, people think of mantras as of being, very kind of esoterical and very far out there. And one of the best ways to remember mantras are through songs, namely your favourite songs. You might have heard that song and it has that one line in it or those lyrics that inspire you. And I shared very recently with these people that there's a song called The Midas Touch. I don't know if it's late 70s or 80s. I think it's 80s. And the lyric in the song says, "I've got the Midas touch. Everything I touch turns to gold." Now, that lyric really works for me, but it might not work for you. So you might have to find a different lyric in a song. You might have multiple lyrics that you really love. And once you've got that lyric, then adopt that. If it resonates with you, adopt that as your mantra. There were lots of songs. Rihanna's Diamonds is a very popular song. Shine bright like a diamond. And, people might take that as their mantra. That might be the thing that they want to do for that day, for that time, for that moment. So find a mantra that suits you. And if you have made up your own mantra and it works for you, use that. Don't take it from me or somebody else. Find something that resonates with you so that you can really see yourself doing it. And it's like you'll feel yourself change as you say it. So in my example, when I said I've got the Midas touch, everything I touch turns to gold, doesn't mean that I physically want everything to turn into blocks of gold, but it means I can't do anything wrong. Everything I put my mind to, everything I put my hands to, everything I give my heart to just works out for my good and for the good of other people. And that's what that lyric means to me. So once you've got that mantra, why not write it on a small piece of paper? It's funny that I spend, not every day, but most days I'll rip the date off my calendar here because it gives me these nice blank sheets of paper. So I could write down, I've got the Midas touch, everything I touch turns to gold. And I can stick that somewhere where I see it on a regular basis. Now, if you really are going through it, maybe life has thrown you a bunch of lemons and you really need some kind of like almost intensive help in this area, one of the best places to stick that note would be in lovely big letters on your ceiling above your bed, so that when you wake up in the morning, it's the first thing that you look at. The thing is, if you stick it above your bed in the morning, you'll see it before you go to bed at night and when you get up in the morning, if you get up in the night. But you might want to stick it somewhere else where you'll see it. Now, here are places that myself and clients have done this. I had a client who just wrote a word on the back of her hand. Every time it came off, she wrote it on again. By doing this reinforced the memory of the word. So having to write it on a few times a day reinforced it and reminded her that it was there. I've also told people that if they've got a small piece of paper like this, why not put it in the mirror section of your car, the sun visor section of your car. And every time you pull up at some traffic lights, or if you're on the road a lot, as I used to be many moons ago, every time you get into a traffic jam or you hit some traffic lights or you stop your car or you get into your car, you can pull the sun visor down and remind yourself of what that means. Another really great favourite place is to stick it in a bathroom. Most people will go to the bathroom. If you say you work from home or you work from an office space where you can go into that bathroom space, it might be on the back of the door so that you see it every time you close the door and open the door. It could be under the mirror where you brush your teeth or wash your hands or things like that frequently throughout the day. Find somewhere where you can go back to frequently throughout the day, and that mantra that moves you, make sure you stick it there. And don't be conservative with your mantras. If you have 5 or 6, use them all. Don't think that you have to just pick one to use. Who is going to try the mantra idea? I mean, I am nosy by nature. If you're going to try this idea out, whether you're watching this live or on the replay, give me some pink hearts. I need some pink hearts, I think. Put some pink hearts across the screen and let us know. You can either let us know in the comments below, or you can go into the Visibility Vibes Tribe Facebook group where there are possibly the loveliest bunch of people on the planet waiting to welcome you, waiting to say hello, where you can share your stuff like this without being ridiculed. Somebody said to me recently, it's lonely on this path, none of my friends are into the same things as me, none of my friends are into personal development, and I just feel like I'm doing it all by myself and I'm on my own with this. Well, you know, this group is wonderful, even though you are a group that's like a virtual group, so you're full of real people, but you are based online. This is exactly the sort of place where you can go and high-five each other. You can say, this is what I'm planning on doing, and you'll have support, you'll have cheerleaders, you'll have welcomes, you'll have ideas, you'll have feedback, you'll have recommendations. So if you are thinking, this feels lonely, none of my friends get this, then go to the top of this page, click the visit group button. You will be asked 3 questions, and if you don't answer the 3 questions, you won't be let into the group. These 3 questions will take you less than 30 seconds to answer, and they enable me to provide really great nuggets of information, juicy nuggets of information that help you too. So do go over into that group. So talking of which, the people you surround yourself with. Now, this is really interesting. I recently did an exercise that I had never come across before, where it got me to look at the people you surround yourselves with. Now, I talk about this on a regular basis. Who do you surround yourselves with? You become the average sum of the 5 people that you most surround yourself with. So, you know, let's say that you have got a business. Let's say that your mission this year is to get in front of more clients, to have more people write rave reviews about your work, to have more people like your Facebook page, to make a difference in the world. Are the people that you're spending your time with a reflection of the mission that you're on and the fact that you're kind of on track to do it? So, you know, if you are knowing that you want to bust through some personal life goals, and you know that maybe you're likely to fall off the wagon and that you can get distracted and not get there, are you surrounding yourself with people who will encourage you? Are you surrounding yourself with people that have their own goals, their own lives, and they're looking to do more in the world? Are you surrounding yourselves with the sorts of people that are out there doing great things? So the Facebook group, the Visibility Vibes Tribe, is just one place in which you can do that. There will be other groups right here on Facebook, and if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, or even you know, been pointed back through LinkedIn, there'll be groups of common interest on there. But you know what? If that doesn't cut it, then why not make the time and effort to meet people live in the flesh and offline that do that? So for those of you that work in a corporate setting, or work you know, at an office or for somebody else, what I used to do when I was in my corporate role was, there were people that I identified with around the building, around that particular building, and we would make it our mission to at least once or twice a week all have lunch at the same time. That way we would all sit together at the table, we'd all laugh, we'd talk about our work, sorry, I've got a frog in my throat, we'd talk about work, we'd talk about you know, personal life, we'd talk about goals, we'd talk about the things that made us laugh. And you know what? We would feel so refreshed and energised. Whether we managed to get a full hour in, half an hour, 20 minutes, we would leave that table feeling absolutely like fantastic. So is there somebody that you can go for coffee with? If you're really busy, why don't you work it that you can go for, you know, go and meet them on your way to the school run, on your way back from the school run? Why don't you make it that you can meet them at a lunch break? Why don't you make it that you can meet them on your way home from work? Why don't you make it that you can meet them at the beginning or end of the day? Go out and have some fun. You know, talk about things, laugh a lot. So surround yourself with those people. And then the last 2 is the internal conversation. This is an interesting one. This is one that nobody I know escapes from. What are you saying to yourself? You know, we can get into critiquing ourselves or being so critical so easily and so quickly, saying things like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that, I was so stupid. Like, really? If I came on this Monday motivation and said, good morning, you're such an idiot, you're so stupid, why did you do that? I think pretty quickly you would stop watching. And I think you would stop watching. You wouldn't like how I was speaking to you, and you probably wouldn't like how I was speaking to the public at large. So why do this to yourself? Now, the hardest thing about this is we've got into such a regular pattern and habit over a lifetime of berating ourselves that sometimes we don't even notice that we're doing it. And the clues for that is in 2 main things. it comes out in our language and the way it makes us feel. So the moment we start to feel less than excited or positive or happy about something, the internal dialogue has already started. And the reason why we don't feel great is because we've already started on the internal dialogue. If you think about this, worry, stress and things like that normally stem from an internal dialogue. So listen to what you're saying. I prescribe you the pill of noticing your words, noticing your thoughts. In any given moment, if you're like, oh, I feel overwhelmed, I've got so much to do today, just literally stop and listen to the last sentence that went on in your head. It might sound completely nuts, but it will be there. Morning, Ivona. It might sound completely nuts, but it will be there. And start to just recognise. A lot of people go straight to the, oh my gosh, I said that, I've got to stop saying it, or I've got to stop the opposite, say the opposite. That's not true. If you find yourself going, oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot, just notice, first of all, that you actually are telling yourself that. And then I guess your next notice is to notice how many times a day you tell yourself that or something similar. And then if you're like, okay, Jenny, I've been doing this for a while and I have been noticing, and how do I change it? Ask yourself this question: what would be better than being an idiot? It's not always the opposite. It's not about not being an idiot. You might say, oh, I want to be more creative and react to things a lot quicker, or be proactive instead of reactive. Everyone's individual answer will be different, but your main job is to notice what you're saying, when you're saying it, and how often you're saying it. This in itself is absolutely freeing. It's the thing that stops you from going into the meeting with the I'm such an idiot running in the background and then acting like an idiot. It's the thing that stops you from meeting your favourite person and saying I'm such an idiot and then acting like an idiot and feeling embarrassed and all overwhelmed because of the way that you interacted with them. It's the thing that has you stand in your strength and in your power, because you know that you are operating from a place of an empowered and stronger place, not a place of, oh my gosh, I think I'm an idiot. I'd love to know how you get on with these tips in the week, because the final one is just to stop. If things really become that overwhelming, you always have a choice to do something. And in our culture and society, we're told do something means go and, and fight through a goal, or go and make sure you get to the end of it, or go and write a to-do list, when actually a choice that we always have is, I'm just going to stop. If this feels overwhelming, I'm just going to stop. Whether that's for 5 minutes, whether it's for 5 hours, whether it's for 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, deciding to stop is a decision to do something. Deciding to go and take yourself out into the fresh air, or walk around the block for 10 minutes, or feel the rain on your face or the sun on your eyelids is a decision. Deciding to take the dog for an extra walk is a decision. Deciding to phone a friend that you know really fills your heart and you can have a really great conversation, and just saying to them, I need to speak to you for 5 minutes. That's all a decision. So deciding to stop is a decision, and is one of the most useful ways that you can put that pause into your daytime, into your life, into your week. So whether it is your Monday, your morning, your week, even your month, you can decide to stop at any time. I would love to know, out of all of those, which of those that you're going to do moving forward, which of those you already do and the successes you have with it, which of those you're going to tweak to get different results. So if you've been feeling in a funk, if you've been feeling like, your spirits have needed lifted, or you wanted to tear your hair out, then try some of these out. Can't speak this morning. Actually adopt something, pick one of them and go with that for the next few days. Let us know in the comments below how you get on. Remember to share this with other people. These are like life hacks. These are tips for life, not just tips for visibility. Not only tips to motivate you, but to allow you to self-motivate. So the final thing that I want to say is, if you are in the Visibility Vibes tribe, this morning I posted a post to ask you about the biggest myths in your industry. So if there is a myth that you hear all the time and it just simply isn't true, share it in that post, share it in the comments on the post below. I'd love to hear what it is. Share it through Facebook Live or video or just written post. I'd love to hear what it is, and there's a very specific reason I'm asking for that. I won't share it right now, but do go over, hit the box above if you want to join the group. And if you would like an opportunity to work with me in a bite-sized way over the next 12 weeks, this special offer is expiring on the 30th of June. You still have time. Even if you're thinking, oh, I want to, but I want to start it later, you can still reserve your spot. What you do need to do is go to the message button at the top of this page, hit the message button, and just write the word bite-sized, and I will send you the information so you know more of what it is, what it's about, and if it's a great fit for both of us, then we'll go ahead and do it. And if not, don't worry, there'll be a different avenue that we can explore, or something else that I can point you to. And for those of you that have been doing the Plan 2018 and we're coming up to the end of the quarter, please check your inboxes and your diaries, because your next payment is due to come out soon. And if you would like to continue that journey, I would love to continue the journey with you. But if not, you'll need to make sure that you stop that payment then. So thank you so much for joining me. Remember the tips that I gave you this morning. If you feel like you want to tear your hair out, did you get enough sleep? What's the start of your day? Do you use mantras that move you? Are you surrounding yourself with the people who inspire you and who are doing the things that you want to do? Are you checking those internal conversations, so pill of noticing? And do you stop? Do you keep going, keep pushing through, keep getting more overwhelmed, keep getting in more confusion, or do you stop? Thank you so much for joining me. My name's Jenny Kovacs. I'm known as the Queen of Being Seen, because you getting out of bed in the mornings feeling vibrant, feeling motivated, being seen and being heard is why I get out of bed too. So thank you so much for watching. Please share this with others that you know will want to see it. And I look forward to hearing about what you do with these comments and reading your comments in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.